Okay. Well, it felt good to be back at home and, to get a win. I thought in the first half we really played well. I thought we moved the ball offensively. I thought defensively we did some really good things. We guarded the three. They jumped out on us fast, but, we recovered. And, I was really happy the way we played in that first half. And in the second half, obviously UMBC, they made a run. They cut it to 6, but we were able to withstand that. And, they're a dangerous team because of the way they shoot the ball. But I was, again, really happy about the way we were able to make plays because we, coming down the stretch of games, we haven't been able to do that in the 3-game losing streak. Was happy for Mustaf. Thought he did a lot of good things. The thing that I like about him as a freshman, is different than Nate being a freshman because they're totally different players. But, his aggressiveness, the way he can get to the cup and, defensively you can put him on different people. And, I just like his trajectory and where he's going. I'm really proud of, what he's been giving us. And everybody that came in the game contributed, Darion, he got real minutes tonight. And, I was happy to see what he did. He had, 3 big rebounds in 11 minutes. So, proud of him because those minutes were all meaningful, and that's going to be big for him, moving forward. So, really, really happy about those things.
Seemed when you started out a little slow, it was your defense that got you going. You had some steals. I think you had 3 straight slams. So, a lot of times, like you talk about, that defense can get your offense going.
Yeah, and it did this evening. We had a couple good days of practice, so I was actually surprised at the start. But at the same time, we did clean it up, and I was happy about that. But like I said, defensively, I thought we did do a good job, in that first half of turning the game around. We out-rebounded them. We were limiting them to no second chance opportunities, so that was big as well. But I was really happy at that defensive performance to bring us back in the game, and then as we move forward.
You opted to start Ryan tonight, and obviously didn't have to play a ton of minutes, and probably a different pace of game got
right.
going, and you went a little smaller at times. But just what have you seen from him now? He's starting to come back and get back into basketball shape.
Just really proud of Ryan. It's been a lot going on with him. For a while there, he wasn't even around. Just kind of told him to, just kind of, be at peace with things and, try to get his mind back wrapped around, just being a basketball player and a student with everything that's went on. But you could kind of see him getting back into form, and I said it a little bit the other day after the Northwestern game. We were kind of going to ramp him up a bit, to see what he had anyway. So he came in there, and I tell you, and Ryan's a big old boy now, so he's a load up in there, and, he's a difference maker. But I think the one thing that for me that I see, I think it makes Bai's game a little easier. It puts him at ease, so now he doesn't have to always be the focal point, and we don't have to look for him, in terms of the post up and making it, having to be as impactful. He can go and get rebounds and do different things to, kind of impact the game. But, I was, those minutes that Ryan played, they were big, and, I wanted to put them back in, but, they didn't really go back. They didn't really go back to their big, so it just wasn't the right matchup. But, I'm happy for Ryan. I'm proud of where he's where he was and to where he's come as a player here at Tech.
Speaking of Bai, you watch him in the pregame warm-ups. He really works hard, and the coaches were really getting after him, and he really went out there tonight and asserted himself, and that led to some good things for him.
Yeah, Bai, I think, again, I nitpick, and it's because I just want the best for these guys. I thought he left about 6 points on the table, couple, chippies, and I thought he left a couple rebounds on the table as well. And I get on him all the time about rebounding with two hands, and I think for him, a guy like Bai, he has to look for perfection. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you have to look for when you want to be that type of player. You can't, be content. And I would just like him to be a little bit more greedy. You know what I mean? In terms of, those layups, in terms of, two hands. If you can get your hand on a rebound, why not put two? You know what I mean? So he did get back, and, I thought that he was impactful today, and we're going to need him moving forward.
Do you want him to, when he goes up, instead of laying it in, to slam it home?
I mean, we all want that. I mean, it's not realistic every time, but, yes, I just want him to make it. You know what I mean? Like, it's, like I tell our guys, I tell him, I was fortunate. It's crazy. I played with a guy in college that was like top 5 in field goal percentage for the 3 years I played with him. Now I was passing the ball, but you know what I mean? But that's all. I just think, again, you get around the bucket, you think about he had 15 shot attempts, but I can think of a possession in the first half where he was trying to tip the ball instead of just grab with two hands and go back up. Now you get the rebound and you get the bucket. You know what I mean? And so that's more so what I'm talking about. I just want him to be impactful as much as he can.
Obviously, Dorian wasn't out there tonight on the bench. Any update on what's up with him?
Well, he's just away from us for personal reasons. So that's pretty much all I can, say. But yeah, he wasn't there today. But yeah, he's away.
Do you have an anticipation when he might return?
I'm not necessarily for sure. Like I said, just personal reasons.
You look at UMBC down the stretch there, I think it appeared that it was more about them making tough shots than it was a lack of defense. I mean, how did you see it?
Yeah, you can say that, but when you lost 3 in a row, you just can't put yourself in that position. There's a couple things that stood out, and we just, we can't give up a 3-point play. That's something that we can't do. We can't foul a 3-point shooter. You know what I mean? So just keep the clock running. You know what I mean? Keep the clock running. Those are things that we talk about. They didn't have any timeouts at that point. So, we got to do a better job, at the end of the game situations.
Go ahead.
Obviously, you have a big matchup this weekend. You've played some ranked teams and played well at times. Kind of what do you need to see from your team to have the type of game you want to have at home against a team like Duke?
Well, I thought, Northwestern, figuratively speaking, we lost the game, but I thought, we had took a little step back in terms of, just our attention to detail. I felt like, Oklahoma, we ran out of gas. I thought, UNC, we were right there. And then against Northwestern, I just, we didn't play well enough to win. But I think that, I'm looking forward to the Duke game to see the growth. I need to see growth. We got to start learning. We got to start learning from the games that we lose. Because in reality, for me, you either win or you learn. As a player, I never looked at a loss as a loss. I either won or I learned from it. Because I wasn't going to make the same mistake twice. And so that's where we got to become better, period. And so that's what I'm looking for against Duke. There's no question I know we can play with them, but can we beat them? Can we finish the game? Like, to beat a team like Duke, you got to play for 40 minutes. You can't have lulls in the game, and that's what I want to see. See how we're going to come out and you know, how are we going to respond to that?
The first part of the game, you missed some foul shots, missed some front ends of 1-on-1s, but down the stretch when you needed them, you had the right guys at the line. It seemed like, and you were able to cash in and not allow them to get any closer than they did. Did you feel good about who you had going to the line at the end there?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't. The percentages don't look like it, but you know, I'm pretty confident in the guys that I know that can make free throws and be solid for us. You know, coming down the stretch. You know, we got good ball handlers, so I wasn't worried about the pressure and different things like that. You know, Nate went up there, made shots. You know, Lance went up there and made some free throws. So, you know, I mean, I was all right with that. You know, like I said, you know, we got good free throw shooters that can close games.
Anything else? Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.